This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2021 Mesa Ridge model 332 RLS. Okay, so we're just going to go over some of the features, and it's mainly for people who are new to this model or new to RVing. So there we go. So let me walk to the front and just look inside here so I can get an idea. Okay, so this comes with a grill. Okay, so the grill also has a grill line, a rubber line. So the grill hangs on here, the swing out bracket, and then the rubber line will plug in here to this quick connect. Okay, there's a valve there to turn it on and off, of course. All right, let's see here. You have a ground control system, which is an automatic stabilizing system. This one has 4 contact points. I'll show you how that operates when we get around to the controller. Alright, so you've got a area to put an outside TV if you choose. It's got the hookups here, backing plate behind here to attach it to. You got to go with your grill, which swings around here. You also have a cooktop, 2-burner cooktop, as you can see, and a refrigerator. Now the refrigerator will turn on as soon as you plug the trailer in. So keep that in mind. As soon as you plug it in, the refrigerator is on. Also, you have water here, and then you have a sprayer with a quick connect end on it also to plug into it. Sometimes there's another spot on the other side to plug into. We'll see when we get over there. You have a power awning with LED strip. Now, one thing I can tell you is make sure you can't have the door open all the way when you're extending or retracting. So keep that in mind. You're going to put it like this so it misses the door. Okay. Now your steps, you can extend and retract the legs just by pulling this pin here. There's one on each leg. You pull it and slide it up and down to adjust to the terrain. Okay. It's your power cord over there. It's a 50 amp power cord. We also give you all the reducers to reduce it down to 30 and then down to 20. Okay. Now you have a 3/4 inch crank, and then you have this one. It's basically a cylinder with a slot cut through it. So we'll look around and see where that one goes. Also, you have your dump hose over there, of course. So, all right. So the other slide out can be cranked manually, but with that crank. So let me look here. See if you can see right there on the frame. It's hard to see, but that's where you'd hook the crank up. And if you need to, you can go right through this hole here. But just gives you an idea. It just comes through the frame, and one of those cranks will always fit on it in an emergency. Okay. This is in case you get a solar battery charger by Furrion. That's the brand. You'd have to, in order to fit this plug, you'd have to use their brand, I believe. Okay, so you have LP tanks. That's a 20-pounder there. And let's see what we got over here. Excuse me. 2 more over here. So you got 6 20-pounders. Okay. Your front compartment with your battery right there. Just whacked my head as usual. Okay. Now, to control your auto leveling system, this is the exterior control. There's one inside on the touch panel also, which has more options. Basically, to light this one up, you're going to push both arrows at the same time. You see it turns on right there. Then you would just push auto level, and it'll level it. When you retract it, you're always going to retract to hitch height. Hitch height was the last position the trailer was in before you auto leveled. So in theory, you should be able to push hitch height, and it'll return it to the right height so you can slide right under with your tow vehicle and hook up. If you push retract all, it'll retract the rear, but it also will retract the front landing gear, so it'll nosedive. It won't hurt anything unless you got something underneath here it'll do that. It'll squish it, but generally you're just going to do hitch height and auto level. Okay. Alrighty, this is the off-door side view of your pass-through. Okay. Now, let me look around a bit. Okay. So, there's two dump valves there, a black and a gray. Black is toilet water and waste, gray is sink and shower water. You've got a second gray tank here, which is probably the galley tank, which would be the kitchen sink water tank, holding water tank. Okay. Always dump the black first and then use the gray to water to wash it out a bit. Okay. Open this up here. Okay. Now, while we're on water, I guess I should continue with the water part, and then we'll go back. So this is your docking station, right here. We're still cleaning here, so it's a little dirty, but okay. So you can see you hook your city water hose right up to here. Turn it on, and you're all set, ready to go. Right now. After you've dumped your black tank, you can leave the valve open, like it says right here. Leave the valve open, then you can hook your hose right here to the black tank flush, the hose at the dump station. You turn it on, and it'll spray the inside of your black tank out, clean off the sensors, that sort of thing. So it's a really good thing to do. If you've got a functioning hose at the dump station, I highly recommend it because it does a good job, especially keeping your sensors clean so they give you good reading. Now, right now, you can see this blue lever goes into two positions. City, vertical is city water. Now, if you want to fill the tank, the fresh water tank, you would change it to this position here. You can see right there, right? So you can pump water out of the fresh water tank. In this case, the water would go in there, right? But then you can use the onboard pump to pump it out. So all the appliances, or all the plumbing will still work like you have city water, even though you're pumping out of the tank. Okay, so. All right, and then you can also plug that sprayer in here also. That's the second part. And this is signal through for campground cable generally. Okay. Now let me go back to the water heater. Okay, so the water heater. I hate cleaning while I'm doing this, but all right. So you have a switch right here, on and off. This rocker switch controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover right there. So keep in mind that this switch is here. You never want to turn on the heating element without water in this water heater tank. Otherwise, it'll burn out in just if you do, it'll burn out in just a minute or so. So you don't want to do that. I mean, it's not a real big deal to fix, but it's still a repair that has to be done. So always make sure there's water in here. And also, this also runs on gas. I'll show you the switches inside, but just keep in mind that this switch here for the electric heating element is right there. This is your drain. It's an 1 1/16 6-point socket, so you'll need that, plus an extension to clear this, and a ratchet or a bar, T-handle, whatever you use. But that's where you drain it at, okay? Most people drain it in between camping trips. If you're not going to be it depends on when. If you're not going to be camping for a couple months or something, you obviously want to drain it or else it'll get all brackish. It'll smell like rotten eggs and turn into bilge water, as they say. Not that I've ever been around bilge water that I know of, but not in this life anyway. Okay, so you have first of all, this housing tells us it's pre-wired for a backup camera, so you can always get that. Also, you have a ladder here, so you can inspect the roof real easily. The manufacturer states that you inspect the roof every 90 days. So someone needs to go up there, check out all the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation, make sure there's no way for water to get in. Look at the vent covers and the roofing material, make sure they weren't damaged by, like low branches or something like that. So just make sure you check it out. And if you see an issue, odds are you won't have to do anything. You'll be checking it out every 90 days for some years, but you don't know for sure. That's why you inspect it, just to stay ahead of it, okay? All right, so let's go inside. Okay, so when we first come in the door here, I'll show you this here. This is your power converter. This is just okay, so the power converter converts AC to DC power. So you're plugged into the shore power and regular power, and you'll these circuit breakers are just like you have at home. They're for 110, 120 AC, and they're all labeled. All right. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side. It's called the lower end. So you see you got 12-volt fuses here, and they're all labeled. So all the 12-volt power comes from here and from the battery up front. Now this is also a battery tender, so when you're plugged in, it's going to check your battery and see what condition it's in, and if it needs some juice, it'll send it 15 amps, let's say. If it's topped off, it'll just trickle a couple amps. It's smart that way, so it always keeps your battery charged. Also, if any of these 12-volt fuses were to blow, they'll actually light up, and you can see them through this tinted plastic here. Now this device here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector, and it also tells you if your battery's low. So if it goes off, you're obviously going to take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off, figure out what's going on. You can read these points down here. Tells you what the different flashes mean. If it's necessary for you to find that out. So basically, if it detects carbon monoxide, it goes off. If it detects LP gas, it goes off. And if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you your battery's low. So let's put it through the test. LP is good. Carbon monoxide coming up. And then low battery alert. And then back to green. It should always be green. If not, get it serviced. Okay. All right. So this is your thermostat right here. You hold the mode button for a second to turn it on. I guess longer than that. Oh, that's right. So I got the power off. So anyway, so you power up with that, and you go through the different modes. Heat, fan. The fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor, and then cool, which is air conditioning. And then you adjust the fan speed, low, high, or auto. Usually, if you have an option, always use the fan on auto. Then you set your temperature this way, okay? Just like any other thermostat. Now this top panel is a touch panel, and remember I told you there was two ways to operate the leveling system. That's what this one does, the leveling system. So let me see if I can get a good thing here. I just had it there. Well, let me get in a better position. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so I'm just going to push all just so we can see. We're running on 12 volts right now because I just have it plugged into a service battery, so it's very slow. But it won't be like that when you're all ready to go. Come on now, don't fail me. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you just have to be patient here. So this does the same thing as the one I showed you up front, except you have some more features. You have auto hitch height and auto level, right? Then you can go through down this list here. Auto retract, which retracts everything, as I said. You can go to manual mode if you need to, and then push enter, and you can select which jack just by pushing the proper button on this pie here. And then you let's say you push rear, and then you go up and down this way. So you can adjust them manually too if you need to. Okay, but generally speaking, you're just going to use auto level and auto hitch height to retract them. Okay. Now this is your analog panel here. Fresh water tank has a little bit in it, black tank, gray, so on and so forth. Now as it graduates up in 1/3 increments as it fills. So once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the gray in the black tank. Of course, you got both your slide outs here. Your awning is here. The power awning. Make sure you don't leave that out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in. All right. So you can turn your water pump on if you have water in the water tank. Remember, you could turn this on and pump the water yourself. That's also used for winterizing. There's the electric switch. Remember, I told you there's a second electric switch in the lower left-hand corner outside there. So keep in mind that that one's there. And then to light it on gas, you do it right here. Okay, works like just about all panels do. So, all right. So your keys, you have a pantry here, obviously a dining table, 3 remotes. The small remote is for the fireplace. The fireplace, you can adjust the visuals on the flame, right? You can set let's see. You have a fan speed on it, low and high and off. Then you can set the temperature, of course. Also, you have a timer on it, so you can set the timer to, let's say, to turn on, 20 minutes before you get up in the morning to take the chill out of it. So there's a lot you can do with it, and it works on 110 AC. Then you have your sound bar. You can stream off a USB here. Also, it has Bluetooth. Let me go shut the level monitor off here. It makes me crazy. So that one, this is just telling me that the battery, we're getting down low on the battery. Remember I told you it was a low battery alarm too? Okay. So I can't shut that off till we charge it back up. I've got this parked away from the building right now, so I am running off a service battery like I told you. Anyway, so you can use the USB to stream, put all your albums on a stick and stream. You can hook up with Bluetooth wirelessly from your phone or your tablet. This HDMI is an in. Let's say you had a Blu-ray, a portable Blu-ray player or something you were going to use. You can plug straight into there and get into the system that way. And it has an FM radio and all the presets and all the normal stuff. You have 2 speaker zones. One is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. All right, and of course a TV, which works like any other TV. This is a bed, and let's see, it's actual hide bed. So you pull the cushions right off, grab it in the front and fold it out, drop the legs, and you got a foam hide bed, which isn't all that bad compared to the way they used to be anyway. It's actually a pretty good bed. So okay, let me come over this way. Another pantry. I guess the other one, what do we call the other one, a pantry too, I guess? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So now, all right, so that was not the low battery, that was the refrigerator telling me that there was no, the power isn't enough. Like I said, I'm running off a service battery. So, you can turn this on here. Probably start beeping on us again if it goes back on. Yep. And then you can, basically this is a 12 volt DC refrigerator. You can select the temperature with this way up and down. You can select power mode. So basically this will run off the 12 volts of the battery, and also, let me shut that off so we're wasting what power we have. It also runs from, let's put it this way, when you're pulling down the road, it'll get its 12 volts from the front battery. The battery will be being charged by the alternator on your tow vehicle, right? When you're plugged in, remember I told you this was a power converter and a battery charger. So this will, when you're plugged in, this will be charging your battery, and the battery will be sending the 12 volts to here. So when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator is charging the battery. When you're plugged into the campground, this power converter does it. Okay. All right. The microwave works like any other microwave. You have a range hood with a vent and a light. Okay. These, I don't know if he's got the gas on here. I didn't prep this one, but I'll give it a shot. If not, I'll just talk you through it. But you're just going to go to the burner you want, and then you spark it. Oh yeah, so we got gas. So you spark it by turning this one, the one on the far left, clockwise. So that works with all 3 burners, 3 knobs. The oven does the same thing, except it's a little different. Down at the bottom here, all the way to the back, is a pilot light. I can spark it so you can see it maybe. Yep, there it goes. So that's where the pilot light's at. So what you do is you'll go to the oven knob, which is the one all the way to the right. You go to the picture of the flame, and you depress it and keep it depressed. Then you're going to spark with the sparker by turning it clockwise until you see the pilot light down here. Once it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 seconds to heat it up. Then you go to operating temperature, and it cycles like an oven does. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, obviously, but so does the pilot light. So you got to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Like most RVs, you probably know that already. Okay, so let me look around a little more. I think I got through this. You have you have power here, obviously, but you also have a USB to charge off of. Okay. Good. Let me walk towards the back, see if I forgot anything. Okay. The sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Okay. The toilet works like any other RV toilet in that you can't use it dry. So there's the flush pedal there. The black tank is directly below. So what you do, that's residual water pressure. When you're plugged in, or when you're hooked up to water, you'll get a steady flow when you push the flush pedal, obviously. So after you hook up at the campground, hook up power and water, you come in here and you put a dose of chemical in the bowl. Whatever product you're using, read the directions in one dose. Then you step on the pedal, water will come swirling around, right? And it'll wash the chemical and plus water right into the black tank below. You stand on it till you put about a gallon or so in there. There's no way to tell it exactly, but some people use more than a gallon. You don't have to, you know, it's up to you. It's a preference thing. But the main thing is you have to have water and chemical in the tank before you start using it. Otherwise the smell will be overwhelming and it can get clogged up, that sort of thing. So you never use the toilet when the black tank is dry. Always has to have chemical and water. Alright. What I got going here? Let me shut this door here. Okay, so this is the slide out switch for your front bedroom slide here. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. It's the first time we've been in here, so I'm looking around. That is just that mount right there is in case you want to get a Bluetooth speaker that goes with it. Below that panel is telling us with the yellow sticker on it. Let me get over here. It's telling us that this is pre-wired for Wi-Fi signal booster, basically. So there'll be another port on the roof, and there'll be an antenna that goes up there, and then a router that is over here, down here. So that's why it's pre-wired already. So you just have to hook them up if you choose to get that. It's just a really good signal booster for Wi-Fi or public Wi-Fi. It just boosts the signal, and it's got a built-in firewall, that sort of thing. So if you're interested, you can go to this this link right here, this website, and they'll tell you more about it. But it's pre-wired for this thing. Alrighty. So you got TV over there. I'll mount a backing plate to mount a TV bracket. Let me get over here. Right here. What else do we have here? Just to pull out, and then we have drawers here. That's nice. Okay. All right. You've got hookups here. Don't ask me why you have a hookup here, but the sticker's over there. That's a mystery to me. I'd like to give you a good answer, but I can't. So keep that in mind. I'm sure there's a reason for it. Okay. All right, so I think that does it. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. And please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. And of course you have to winterize this trailer before it freezes. So don't forget your maintenance, okay? Thank you very much.